The Artist as a Young Man is a novel written by James Joecy. First published in serial form between 1914 and 1915, the book is profoundly autobiographical. It chronicles the life of Joyce's fictional persona, Stephen Dedalus, from early childhood, culminating in his decision to leave Ireland and pursue writing. The novel shows how Stephen's artistic sensibility develops alongside his intellectual and spiritual growth, from his early fascination with words and sounds to his mature theories about art and beauty. Like Joyce's later work, Portrait of the Artist helped pioneer the stream of consciousness style, relying on sensual imagery and even baby talk to represent the fluid nature of human thought from one character's point of view. The book opens on 3-year-old Stephen Dedalus, the youngest of 10 children in turn-of-the-century Ireland. Stephen lives with his mother, Mary, a devout Catholic, his governess, Dante, who is fanatically religious as well, his lively Uncle Charles, and his father, Simon, whose financial ineptitude forces the family from one dilapidated home to another. Stephen is a sensitive and imaginative boy, deeply influenced by the tides of political and religious thought that surround him. Soon, we leap forward in time as young Stephen begins boarding school at Clongowes. At 6 years old, Stephen is terribly homesick, unathletic, and socially awkward, and therefore an easy target for bullies. One day, a larger boy named Wells pushes him into a cesspool, and Stephen becomes ill from the filthy water. While he fantasizes about how sorry everyone will be when he dies, he decides not to tell on the boy, earning him respect from his peers. That Christmas, Stephen is eating at the adults' table for the first time when a terrible argument breaks out. On one side, Stephen's father, along with his friend John Casey, argue on behalf of Charles Parnell, an Irish nationalist who was denounced by the church for seeking a divorce. Dante, on the other hand, argues on behalf of the church. As a devout Catholic, she is unsympathetic to divorcees. The fight is vicious, ending in tears and leaving young Stephen confused about his place in the world as he struggles to understand the complex conflict between loyalty to family, religious authority, and nationalist ideals. In his preteens, Stephen is forced to withdraw from Clongowes when his family's poverty forces a move to Blackrock. There, Stephen enjoys long walks with his Uncle Charles. While Stephen continues to feel different from those around him, he loves adventure books like The Count of Monte Cristo and joins neighbor boys on imaginary quests. Around age 14, Stephen and his family moved to Dublin, where Simon manages to enroll Stephen at Belvedere College, a private school run by Jesuits. Stephen comes into his own at Belvedere, becoming a reluctant leader, acting in school plays and winning essay contests, though he continues to feel isolated and misunderstood. Around this time, Stephen meets a girl named Emma Clare. While she comes to embody Stephen's feminine ideal, she is less a flesh and blood person to him than a muse. Around this time, Stephen grows increasingly obsessed with sex, engrossed by lurid fantasies. One day, squandering a cash prize he won as part of an essay contest, Stephen goes with a prostitute. It is his first sexual experience. Soon, going with prostitutes becomes a habit for Stephen, and he enters a period of deep confusion and spiritual paralysis. While he considers his actions sinful, he also feels strangely numb towards his own hypocrisy. These feelings come to a head during Belvedere's annual 3-day spiritual retreat, where Stephen hears 3 sermons on the torments of hell. Terrified of eternal damnation, he repents of his old behavior, becoming almost fanatically religious. Nevertheless, as time goes by, Stephen grows frustrated by Catholic doctrine. When a rector suggests that he consider becoming a priest, Stephen realizes that the religious life is not for him. One day, while walking on the beach, he sees a girl whose beauty strikes him with the force of spiritual revelation. To his own surprise, he no longer feels ashamed for admiring the body and decides to live life to the fullest. Years pass, and Stephen attends university in Dublin. Although surrounded by friends, Stephen continues to feel isolated and bored, his mind wandering to theories on beauty and aesthetics during lectures. Soon, Stephen comes to regard Ireland, religion, and his family as a trap from which he must escape. In his diary, he declares his artistic mission: to forge in the smithy of my soul the uncreated conscience of my race. The book ends as Stephen decides to leave Ireland to pursue writing. Like the mythical Daedalus, he will escape on wings of his own